Hi, welcome to Sew Teach and Learn. Thanks again for purchasing your Sew It box, or if you was gifted, congratulations, you are in for a treat. So today we'll be working on our zipped cushion cover, and in the box we do have your fabric, your pattern, your zip, your instructions, and the link to this video which you're watching now. So welcome once again. So as I said, we will be making our zipped cushion cover. You'll be making one of these babies. Oh yeah. And of course you've chosen your fabric, or a fabric was chosen for you, and we're going to be taking our time going through everything. There is no rush, guys. Just take your time, have fun and enjoy. So let's get started. You will need your sewing machine, thread, fabric chalk, snippers, fabric scissors, ruler, pins, and if you haven't purchased your Sew It box, fabric. Fold your fabric in half and place your pattern as close to the edge as you possibly can. This is to save and not waste any fabric. Now it's time to pin. But when you are pinning, make sure your fabric and your pattern are flat while you are pinning. This is to make sure that both pieces are cut exactly the same size. Now cut them out and you should end up with two identical size pieces of fabric. If your fabric has a pattern on it, you need to decide which way the pattern will be, up or down or sideways. When you have decided this, on the bottom is where we will be placing the zip. So from the edge you need to mark 2 inches on both sides. Then from the bottom half, mark up ½ inch, which is our seam allowance side, and you will end up with 2 small rectangles on the corners of the bottom end of your fabric. This part is optional, but I have drawn ½ inch seam allowance around the rest of the piece, and this is just an easy guide to sew a straight line, so you just sew on it. I do all my markings at the beginning. Now I will zigzag the edges where the zip will be going, and this is because when the zip is on, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So zigzag your edges so that when you are washing your cushion covers, your seams will not be frayed. When you are using your zigzag stitch, make sure you place the needle on the edge of the fabric. This is when the needle is on the right side of the plate. Test it out and you will see. When zigzagging these edges, make sure you do one piece at a time, where you're not joining them together. Not just yet, anyway. All you are doing is sewing the longest line, back stitch, sew straight down and back stitch again. So there will be a gap in the middle of your 2 pieces, and this is where the zip will go. Your zip will need to be 2 centimeters longer than your opening. If your zip is long, you can trim it. If you are using a shorter zip, then your stitch lines that we have just done need to be longer than they are. Please do not use a very short zip or you will not be able to get your cushion filling in. I would say the shortest zip to use is around about 30 centimeters, all depending on the size of your cushion cover. Now, press open the seams where you have sewn, which is basically ½ inch as well. Now, place your fabric the wrong way round and place your zip also upside down on top of it. Now, while pinning on the zip, make sure that the fabric underneath are still touching each other. So when the zip is sewn on, the cushion cover is flat and the zip is hidden. Pin the zip upside down and make sure that the zip pull is closed for now. Now let's take it to the sewing machine. Using your regular foot on your sewing machine, start at one end, stitch it, I would say 2 times just to make sure it's nice and secure, and you use the edge of your foot to go against the zip, and that way you should have a nice straight seam. When you get to the zip, with the needle down, lift the foot, close the zip, put the foot back down and continue to sew. Once you've done all 4 sides, backstitch and trim all your threads. That's the hard part over. Now, fold your cushion cover in half, as you can see here. And all you're going to do now is stitch your edges together. Don't forget ½ inch seam allowance or 1½ centimeters. When you are stitching your seams, you have 2 options. You can turn the fabric, pivot as also known, and the corners so that you have one continuous stitch, or you can sew one side down, snip, then start again, sew the other one down, snip, and then once again sew the other one down. But if you can learn to pivot, it'll be very handy and save you some time. Right, now the seams are sewn, you need to basically zigzag your edges. Your tip as promised. So if you did not open your zip while you were sewing up your last 3 seams, you basically will hold on to the zip pull with one hand, and with the other hand you will actually move the fabric away from the zip pull, and voila, it's open. Turn your cushion covers inside out, and with a pencil, a knitting stick, anything that's not too sharp but has a point, use that to point out your corners. And now it's time to put your cushion filling in your cushion cover. Zip it up and voila, you are done. Thanks again for sewing with Sew Teach and Learn, and until next time, have a good one.